fun. We're going to show you guys what Gladie Cabin looks like.
So we're at Gladie Cabin in the Red River Gorge. The video a while ago you saw us drive through Native Tunnel, and we'll show you Skybridge, a little bit of that today. Just out of having a little adventure. It's kind of stormy looking. I don't know if you can see that. Clouds. Looks like it's going to rain. We'll try not to get wet. But thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. If you
Come
like
along on the adventure.
Yeah, if you like this video, like and subscribe. Can't really go into it. They got it closed up now. Used to be able to go in and look around. Maybe you still can through the week, but
they got the doors, the windows open and stuff.
yeah.
Maybe some doesn't.
Cabin's pretty old. Got a lot of history up here. My family is from here. Maybe somebody's in here.
Hi, come on in. Welcome to the Gladie Cabin. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing very well. You guys been here before?
Yeah, but never with anybody in here.
Yeah, we've never been able to get in here,
I've
hardly.
heard that
Yeah.
so many times.
So what are you doing?
This is how they made the roofing shingles. This is white oak. This is what the cabin was refurbished, restored in 1987 by the Forest Service.
Okay.
And they took it. I'll show you some pictures, but they took it down to like stick by stick, basically, everything apart. And they had the local community come in and do this kind of work with old tools and such to get the community involved, and also to use period correct tools and materials.
Well,
But this cabin, are you from Kentucky? You're from the area, or?
Yeah, we're from the area.
my family's from here. They're the sergeants.
Okay.
That's up there in the.
My family's
Yeah,
from Paul.
a
Well,
visitor.
my family moved away in 1920. But they were here from like 1870 to 1920. Palmer is my last name.
Oh yeah.
And we're married, or we related to the Gledfords, Garretts. You all know those names. But this cabin was actually built in 1873. Ulysses S. Grant was president. It was built originally up Gladie Creek. Gladie Creek runs. There's a bridge right there. That's Gladie Creek crosses.
Yeah.
The Gladie Creek runs this way, and the Red River is about 100 yards that way. So when they met, it was kind of like a landmark where people would come. So we think around 1900 there may have been flooding, building degraded or something. So they moved here, and it's made of different pieces and parts somewhat. The boards, the majority is all chestnut. This is chestnut.
Yeah.
When it was moved here, I should say actually when the Forest Service recreated it, some of it was rotten, termites and such. So you'll see some tags. So the Forest Service got those from other cabins, other buildings, to make it more period correct.
Yeah.
I can show you a picture. So when the Forest Service came in 1987, it had a metal roof, siding, bigger porches, because it was continued to be lived in. People were farming at her still. So they took all that siding off, exposed the original logs, original siding, and took it back to what it would have been around 1900 or so. The logging industry was big here. So this is also a boarding house at one point.
Yeah.
They would have boarders, the loggers in here overnight. So you'd pay a nickel and you'd get like upstairs right now it's just bare, but it was partitioned. So you would have had, 12 feet or something, and put your bedroll down and you spend the night and probably cook your meals here.
My dad told me stories about being in here before.
Okay.
Back when it was actually being used, you know, like for living and whatever.
Interesting.
He was, I can't remember exactly the story, but he was in this cabin and somebody got shot.
Oh boy.
Like through the back, and it come out like stuck in their belt buckle.
Oh man.
But I really wish I could remember the story, but
I'm sure they were rough men, rough times.
Yeah.
For sure. Maybe it's a little bit of moonshine going around.
yeah. Well, Dad was a moonshiner for a while.
Sure.
And he was a logger too, so that kind of fit in that with that. I don't know if that was the reason why he was here or not.
Yeah. Well, one of the stories of the building is these chestnut logs. It's very hard wood. It's used for tools, for building, for wagons, for stuff that wanted to last a long time. Unfortunately, in 1904, there was some chestnut trees imported started in New York City. They had a blight or a fungus.
Yeah,
so by
I heard about that.
1920, the ones around here were all decimated.
Yeah.
And actually from here to like up into like Maine, down south, billions of trees were lost.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to make them come back. They just haven't been successful. So when these chestnut trees were lost, you know, there's chestnuts. Those small animals eat those. Bigger animals eat those. Humans eat those. So it's a link in the food chain. And also people are selling the chestnuts for, you know, chestnuts on the open fire. That was a business people had, selling the chestnuts. So when that happened, people started to move away. My family was here in that area, or in the area. What was I going to say? They weren't loggers so much, but they were relying on the people who lived here, selling them farm produce or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had young children from like 1900 was my grandfather was born. So 1920 he would have been 20 years old, and if the logging industry went away, he would have not had something to look forward to maybe. Yeah. But at that time there was steel manufacturing in Ohio, so they moved and started the steel.
Had to go where the work was.
Had to go where the work was. You know, Kentucky, they didn't throw anything away, so that's why it was composed of different pieces. At one point it was the post office. From about 1900 to about 1916, we know for sure it was part of the post office. Boarding house, maybe a general store, we're not sure, because this was for logging especially. They would float their logs down Gladie Creek. Yeah. They would meet up on the Red River. You know, people were in this area. The farm was quite prosperous. Their main crop was corn, mainly to feed their livestock. Horses, cows for milk, for sell the meat. If they had a little left, they'd make a little moonshine money off of it, for sure. Some food, probably cornmeal, bread. Had sheep to get their own wool to make some clothing with. Oxen. They were before. This is a picture of the Gladie Tunnel, the kind of locomotive that would have been going through the tunnel. You know, smaller in size, smaller gauge rails. But that shows you before this was here, how would they get, you know, this is mountainous area. Trying to get those things up and down to the river would have been a heck of a chore.
So the tunnel down there, Native Tunnel, was it made for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was actually built by, there was a company called Dana, D-A-N-A. When they built it, they had another name for it, so they called it, Dana became Nada. That's
okay. Okay.
Some other little interesting. This is Daniel Boone. Now he was here back in the 1700s, but he did, you know, I don't know if it's attributed he discovered the place. That's probably Cumberland Gap he's looking over. Okay. The family that built it, the Ledford family, was here way early in the 1800s. They had thousands of acres out here. Yeah. So they would have been one with the farm and with the furnace, but there was iron ore discovered being around the area.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those around. Like cottage furnace and the one over in Olympia. Well, going from Bath County to Olympia, there's one. Okay. I can't remember the name of that one, but it looks exactly like that.
But that's really interesting because that was, again, back in the 1700s. They were smelting this iron ore using charcoal. You can imagine what a tough job that would have been. Yeah. But then, as you know, things progressed. They used the iron ore for cooking utensils, railroad wheels and ties, probably some war material, you know, cannonballs, stuff like that. So it's also interesting too, I think, because my family and your family was here. In Kentucky, you didn't throw anything away. Yeah. So the building was composed of different pieces that they made work, you know. And they didn't move away when their family, you know, got bigger. They had another purpose for it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of sergeants around. That's what my dad was, Dallas Sergeant. That's his name.
Well, let me show you something. That's interesting. So there was a man named John Ledford who came over to England in 1738. He was 14 years old. He came with his two brothers. He had a son, probably many sons. One was John Ledford. He was the one who brought the family across the Cumberland Gap. Unfortunately, crossing the Cumberland Gap, they stopped for the night in their wagon. A big windstorm came. A tree fell on his wagon. Killed him and his wife. He had one son, William Alexander Ledford, called him Ailey. There were some older brothers and such, but he was the only one. There were families traveling. It wasn't just them. There were families coming across the Cumberland Gap. So William Alexander Ledford came over, and he then had these bigger ones. Those are his. There are some sergeants in here. Skidmores, Smiths, Steps, Farmers. Here's a Sally Sergeant. So here's a James Ledford, his fourth wife, Sally Sergeant. And so the little names would have been William Alexander's grandchildren. So you can imagine how big these families were. It's incredible.
Yeah, everybody used to have, what, 8 or 10 kids at least.
Right. And they came in handy, I'm sure.
All the farm work and all that kind of stuff going on.
And Lily Mae Ledford was from the area. She was a bluegrass musician. She's passed away now, but she actually was, you know, famous nationwide. She had a group with her sisters called the Coon Creek Girls. They were somewhat famous. This is some of the tools. This is a recreation of a post office desk, probably.
Yeah. It's got a lot of neat stuff in it.
Yeah, it is. In September, I think September 16th of this year, they had called a living archaeology weekend. And on a Friday, they have the school kids come in. They have school buses come out here, and it's full of demonstrations of old tool making, food preparation, some indigenous American, you know, tool making.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to that one before.
Okay, right. So on Fridays, school children, Saturdays open to the public, and they said there was like 1,000 people out here. You know, they're selling some of their arts and crafts. And
I was here before, and they were making bows, and they were cooking squirrel in the ground in like a pit, and they covered it up and let it cook like that, and then we got to eat it, but it was a little bit gritty. Some sand in it.
Well, that overturned kettle there, they make bean soup out of that.
Okay.
So that's on a fire, and they're cooking that, but you know, ladling that out to give people the taste of the old time. It's been closed up the last couple of years. COVID closed it down for a couple of years.
Yeah, we come up here. Well, over the last couple of years, we've come up here probably 2 or 3 times, and it's been closed every time.
Yeah. Picked a good day.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be open today, really.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised me. And the upstairs, you said this closed off now?
You can go up there and take some video. It's just an open room.
Okay.
But we don't let people up there because, you know, this doesn't have like joist hangers, modern mold and what have you.
Yeah. Okay. So just kind of go up here and kind of look over?
Yeah, you can look over the fence. There's a little gate there. So do you know much about your family's history, like where they came from?
I think most of them come out of West Virginia.
Yep.
A lot of Wales and Scottish descent.
Yep, same here. Scottish, Irish. Yep.
Yeah, that area.
And like the same as the Ledfords, primarily settled in the Virginia area. Not so much Jamestown maybe, but then that Tidewater area.
Yeah.
Then in North Carolina, then over the Cumberland Gap, they found beautiful, you know, land here.
Yeah.
So it's had a lot of history. I think what's interesting too, you probably know this too, the Native American history goes back like 10,000 years here.
Oh yeah.
With rock shelters, it was a place they could live year round, not having to pack up all their stuff and then move on. There was rock shelters, caves, arches to live under. And there's
also some like carved footsteps going up rock here too and stuff.
100%,
Yeah. I don't know if I'll show any of that on this video, but because I probably won't be hiking. But
Yeah. But the archaeology, they've done a lot of research. They dig like a 20-foot pit.
Mhm.
At the bottom would be charcoal, and maybe some pottery shards, and then bone fragments. So they know they were here a long, long time.
Yeah.
Seeds and stuff like that. There was some domestication of the seeds. They would live under a rock shelter maybe for a year. The next year they'd come back because they ate whatever they ate, threw the seeds away. Well, they came back and they were growing something. So they said, "Oh, how does that happening?" So then they started to pick the biggest seeds, the most healthy looking seeds, and plant those. So then they had their own crops.
Agriculture.
Agriculture.
Yeah.
Not that it started right here, but there were the people who were doing those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Natural resources. I'm not sure when the 17 or the 1870 cabin had it, but here they discovered a spring under one of the cliff faces.
Oh yeah.
And there's still a freshwater spigot out back here. Cold, clean, clear, fresh water.
Straight from the spring.
Straight from the spring, but they piped it in.
Yeah, I know where the spigot is, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it out there. I didn't know it was spring water though.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people come with their pets, and their dogs love it. They
Yeah.
love it out there.
Well, thanks for talking to us.
Oh, hold on a second.
Give some info.
People who come down.
Uh-huh.
Try to give a little saver's notebook.
Okay.
If you have kids or nephews and nieces.
Okay.
And some mints.
All right. Well, appreciate it.
Yeah.
My name's Dallas.
Dallas, I'm Chris.
Chris, nice to
Is
meet
your
you.
name Sergeant?
Actually, Spencer, but
Spencer. I've heard Spencer, but that's a local name too.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was Dallas Sargent. I just don't have the same last name as him. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So my first name's after him, but
Got it.
it's a long story. I'm not going to go into.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've done something like genealogy. There's some stories that you don't want to know sometimes.
Yeah.
Like one of these guys, one of the Ledfords, he had 14 kids, and the last child he wasn't married.
Oh yeah.
But he was like an old guy that he had a kid with somebody.
Yeah. So what's this? Is this like a spinning type thing, or
We think
what
it
is?
We found this picture. This is in somebody's home before it was here, but it must be like a loom.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been to the visitor center.
Mm-hmm. Well, not today, but we will.
There's a
after this.
much better version of this up there. It actually has some textile work on it presently.
Okay.
That demonstrates. I wish it was. What I really hoped or wished that was more represented, maybe like a bed or something.
Yeah.
Or a spinning wheel where they took the wool, spun it, did something like that.
Well, you mentioned it was kind of like a hotel, I guess, at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be neat if it had some bunks or something in here.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Something to represent that.
So this is the water spigot he was talking about, came from a spring. We'll walk over to the visitor center.
Mm-hmm.
They doing some, looks like they're doing construction over there. Did you go over there a while ago?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see anything? Okay. Some old farm implement stuff. Some R's and rakes.
Antiques.
Mm-hmm. So we're at the visitor center now. This is up near Gladie Cabin. Show you some of the signs are in here.
Here's the byway. It's 46 miles.
Is that the Daniel Boone Byway? Yeah. Scenic Byway. No, that's the Scenic Byway. It's the driving.
This tells you about Nada.
Yeah, it's got the history on it.
Uh-huh.
Here's that loom that he was talking about. I think you were out. They had an older one over there.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, but it wasn't working.
This lemon was built in 1827.
Really?
Yeah, and it was donated to Gladie Cabin by John Childers.
Wow.
Yeah. His initials are in the crossbeam. Just above the seat. Right here.
If I pick that up. It's awful small.
Yeah.
That's the American chestnut that he was talking about over there. They kind of got wiped out.
Down there, the Faraday system, we have it working every time. One time, they had church school, I mean, they had just something to go to all the time. They just had it.
This is more about another tunnel. So they hauled logs through Nada Tunnel by railway.
Yeah, he said the tunnel was actually created for that. And this is the Ledfords.
Mm-hmm.
What he was talking about.
Yeah. Sergeant Saga. There's our family.
Yeah. I'm related to the sergeants. My dad's Dallas sergeant.
Mm-hmm. They're the ghost of the Gorge.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pencil up tight that we showed on last week.
Is that the Fat Man's Misery we call it?
Yeah.
Serious injury in his one-eye left to for your children, your pets, yourself, and for the unique landscapes of the Red River Gorge.
Well, Red River Gorge is a really interesting place because of the geology of the area. It's fantastically big, it's incredibly diverse, and really cool.
Yeah, if you're into history and hiking, this is a good place to come. Did you see this, honey?
Oh no, I didn't. I haven't seen that.
Petroglyphs.
Yeah. That one's only got 4 toes.
You didn't need an extra one, did you? It's for evolution.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a Sasquatch. They only have 4.
This quilt's over 100 years old.
Good shape for that, ain't it?
Well, Elizabeth Newton Gibbs.
Been really taken care of.
This is the Devil Canyon's viewing spot.
And you just park right on the side of the road and you walk right across. Real easy to get to.
Especially if you ain't a hiker like me.
Yeah, this is the kind of hiking she likes. She's like, yeah, just park over here, walk over here, I'll do it.
He ain't lying, guys.
This is one of the reasons why they call it the Grand Canyon of the East. This big, huge gorge that just goes on forever up here. It's just trees block a little bit of the view, but you can see it way through there. There's all kinds of cave rock features and things like that you can see around here.
There's actually a path up this way. Which, of course, if you're out here, use common sense, you know. Don't get too close to the edge because these are cliffs. There's been many people fall off of these just because they're not paying attention, so on and so forth, texting. But please pay attention whenever you're up here. Nobody wants to see anybody hurt. And as you can tell, we are right there's the cliff.
Safe distance away.
Yeah, this is like a step up and then you step down and then there's no step.
Sky's clearing up. Don't look so rainy now.
That is true. It's looking pretty.
Off to the next. And this is why footwear is so important. If you got Crocs on, you might just come out of them.
They even had it in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, they have 4-wheel, so lost it. So now we're gonna walk down to Skybridge. Easy little walk. This one's about the easiest one to get to. This is not a hard trail most people can get to. Quarter mile. Somebody's following me. Sound like we're marching.
Look over there. They're all broke off over there too. See, you're straight across from that.
Maybe pine bark beetle weakened them. I don't know. Several trees broke off, as you can see here. More of the gorge area. More of me breathing hard. Not sure what that rock over there is called. It's pretty neat looking though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think you really see it before when all the trees were here.
No, you couldn't. Oh no, maybe they just come through and top them. Yeah.
No, they're definitely broke.
These are cut.
Well, they might have
They've
broke
cut
off and then they
these.
cut them off, you know.
Yeah.
Gives you more of a view.
It does.
So I remember all this being trees like that. Like it is on this side.
There's a ton of trees. It was all shady. Used to be.
Yeah. A lot more sun now.
Yeah.
I was expecting a cool walk.
Yeah. You're gonna sweat the day.
And right there, if you can start to see it, is the bridge.
And this is actually smaller than Natural Bridge.
Yeah, this is a smaller bridge, but it's a lot easier to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a lot of other arches near here. Double arch, there's several different ones. This is the easiest one to get to though.
Is Snake Rock up here?
Yeah, it's up in here somewhere, but I really haven't been to it, so.
I don't either. I haven't either, but I mean, I've seen like
Videos,
videos of
yeah.
it, and it actually looked like a snake with an eye.
Yeah, but I haven't been to it, so might have to do that on a different video.
We'll Google it first and see how much of a walk it is.
If it's more than a quarter of a mile, Tracy ain't gonna make it. Right,
That's
Tracy?
right. He ain't lying.
You see how everybody's carved all over it. Yeah, I think the trees died. It looks like that pine bark deal, maybe.
I don't know.
So the trees died out and broke off.
Oh, are we walking?
Yeah.
I was enjoying the shade.
The one little spot of it.
Yeah.
Seems to be getting rougher though, right here.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being this rough before. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably since we've been out here. Let's see how steep that is.
Dog.
Yep, dog. It's an easy, beautiful place to come.
Very quiet most days.
Yeah, this one isn't near as busy as the other one. Natural Bridge.
Yeah, there's not much foot traffic up here at all. This is like the forgotten one, really.
Well, it's a little longer to drive. I think it's the main thing.
Yeah.
You gotta drive further to get to it. It's pretty well known though. Little mud hole.
Didn't it rain this morning?
Yeah. This trail will take you back down and around, back out to the parking lot. Looks so much different though this time.
I feel like I'm wearing a sweat helmet with all this hair. Nothing to pull it up with.
No, don't pull it up. Leave it down.
Sweat rolling down the back of my neck.
in the other end, looking out over it. That's going out the other end, back to the parking lot, quarter mile.
I just wonder back in the day, you know, if anything actually traveled over this, or, you know, if it was just like found by us now, you know. I mean, I know it was many, many years ago, but
I would say a lot of people before people from other countries came here, like the Native Americans, knew about it.
yeah, and traveled over across it. Or did they just go around, you know?
Well, if they were you, they would have went down in the valley and never come up the hill.
Probably. They'd be like, no, too much work.
And this is the Swift Creek overlook. There's the info on it if you can see it without the shadows.
There's more info over there.
A little bit more view of the gorge. We were just going to hang out and enjoy ourselves for a sec. Well, thanks for watching. Glad you got to hang out with us today. Please like and subscribe.
Peace.
Peace.